Welcome back to the I Have My Doubts channel. My name is Stephen Heider. In today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about Poltergeist.
What else say?
It's a really, it's a bold claim that people make, right? When they say that they have a haunting or they're experiencing paranormal activity to the level that there is a physical manifestation over objects that they were being. So what I want to try to do is I want to try to manipulate something as easy as a bottle. Because on one hand, I feel like it's something that could be easily hoaxed, but on the other hand, I also feel like it might be difficult for someone who hasn't tried it before to do it, and I feel like I'm going to struggle and I probably won't be able to achieve the desired outcome I'm looking for. So without further ado, guys, let's really get into this idea of poltergeist. Let's try to move a Coke bottle. Okay, so the video we want to watch today, it's an upload from a person named Anon Potter, I believe is how you say their name, and it's just it's a soda bottle. It's like a 2 liter bottle.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens with this 2 liter bottle. I'm excited to see. All right, so right from the beginning, looks like Sierra missed.
And they're clearly filming this on like a phone camera, whether it's like their iPhone or.
Yeah, it's not really moving that much, guys.
It's almost like someone turned a fan on, and it's like blowing the bottle a little bit.
Yeah, I could see this just being a simple trick of wind, or even just a slight knocking or like shaking of the table. Like this to me seems like BS, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like this doesn't feel. Number one, who would look at this and say that this is paranormal? Yeah, look at the Coke bottle. I mean, I'll give it a second to kind of like you see the zero Coke they put beside it.
Mm-hmm.
But look how the water is still like, come on, man.
But in all fairness, just to be that person, the water could be still moving because.
Yeah, but it's still moving. Like there's clearly a vibration on the table. I got a couple ideas of how to do this. So to begin with, my wife and I we were talking, and we have just an old Coke Zero bottle because we also, like the person in the video, enjoy Coke Zero. But the first thing, I don't know if you guys can see the tape on this, but I got some fishing line tied around the top. So I'm gonna try the top. My wife said maybe we should also try like towards the bottom of the bottle. We'll probably do a third one in the middle. I think the object here is we're using some, I don't know if this is thin enough fishing line. I mean, guys, I had this for fishing kind of in coastal water, so I mean it's not the thinnest wire. But the object here is can we hide it from the camera, or would this need to be something that's done post edit? Do we have to go in and put like some kind of a face mask or something kind of filter on it to take it off? That'd be the interesting thing. The second thing I think my wife brought up, and I kind of said it in the video when we were watching it, which is you could just kind of shake the table. You could create vibrations on the table and probably cause that little bit of shifting to happen in the bottle.
And I'll be honest, we could probably take one of the fans we've got lying around here and put it on medium to high, a couple feet away, and it would probably do the same thing. Yeah. So, I mean, that's an option we could try too.
Without further ado, let's see if we can't debunk it or if this is beyond our actual abilities to do. Alright guys, so obviously I'm going to play the trick man here. My wife is behind the camera shooting.
Hey y'all.
The first thing we're going to do, guys, is we're just going to try to do a simple just string test here and just try to make the vibrations. My biggest fear is that I can't really keep a lot of tension on the line, so I got a feeling this is going to be really easy to see. So without further ado, my wife's going to focus in a little closer to the bottle, and we're going to try to mimic it. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm afraid of is it's really hard to just get those subtle movements from a string. It's like incredibly hard not to overdo it. Alright, so this time, guys, we've attached it towards like the middle of the bottle. And I can tell you that I think it blends in a little better, but I think you can see the string protruding a little bit. What we're going to try to do now is just try to mimic that whole thing. I'm obviously at a different angle, so we're also switching up the angle a little bit to try to see if changing the angle, changing the position where it's tied, like how would they come up with this? Because I would think that they had to do several takes to get it right. All right, let's get it. Alright, so the last way we're going to try to do this is I got it tied around closer to the bottom. There's like kind of a groove in the bottle we have, so I kind of tied it around the groove. And I'm going to stand this time like behind, theoretically, where the person would have been that would have been like filming it. So I'm going to be behind my wife as she films the bottle. And I'm going to try to pull it that way. I really think that the string is going to be noticeable this way, but we'll see. Without further ado, let's see how it works.
Hey y'all. So, for our last test, we are going to do a vibration check. So, while I'm behind the camera, Steve's going to shake the table to see if the vibrations from shaking can actually cause the soda bottle to move like it did in the video. We're going to see at different distances from the bottle and see if that makes a difference. And hopefully, we'll get some good results. So, like Steve says, without any further ado, let's get to it.
Concluding thoughts. Fishing string's harder than it looks.
But I feel like even if the string showed up on camera, we could have edited it out so that it would have looked legit.
You can absolutely edit out any of these, even when they're like zooming in, guys. Understand that if you take a snapshot or you take a frame on frame, so if I record it with me shaking it, then I record it just as a still image, I can basically go in there and then do some things through editing, guys, to take out the string, and then what's going to be replaced there is just going to be the area that's there from the still picture. So whether it's a photo or whether it's just a reel, a video that's just flat and still, that's the easiest way of doing that. I'm pretty sure that's what most of them are doing. To be honest with you, it's a pretty easy manipulation to do. But I will say, like, you'd have to have the right size fishing string if you're not editing. It would need to be really thin, and then the camera angle has to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a difference from where the camera angle is to how visible the string is.
Absolutely.
In every single one of these, I could tell where the string was, but some are way better at hiding it than others, and if you didn't know where to look,
you wouldn't have even seen it.
You wouldn't have noticed it if you didn't know where to look. Mm-hmm. Because it has to be like really pointed out to you, and the shorter the clip, the better the duration of the time you have to get away with it. So the more you prolong it and the more you give people exposure to it, the more likely they are to actually point it out. But I'm going to be honest with you. What do you think they did to create it?
I think chances are they had somebody shaking that table.
Yeah, shaking the table.
I mean, not at the angle that was like closest to the bottle, but probably like 1 feet away, like 1.5 feet.
Yeah. Mid-range.
Yeah, a mid-range distance in terms of like the length of the table.
The back end or right in front of it is incredibly difficult, actually. Now, I will say, we have a table that is solid wood, and then it's backed up by some metal framing, like industrial framing. So even though it's a small table, it's pretty sturdy and it's pretty strong, and it's hard to actually create the vibrations. Mm-hmm. But once you get the vibrations going like a foot or two away from it, it kind of endures. All you got to do is create the vibration once or twice, and it'll endure for like a good 15, 20 seconds on its own. Yeah. So, to me, I think this is pretty easily debunked that they're simply shaking the table. That's all they were doing. This is not paranormal, guys. Mm-mm. But with that, we appreciate y'all tuning in so much, and we'll see you guys on the next video.